年德应该更新1.04版本。
I can't see a way to reach the signal from here. That black box must have gotten there some other way.
我不知道我是要解主线，还是继续把一些文号全部解掉。解支线好了。
Crush your enemies.
所以白金奖杯居然没有说全支线或者是全叉叉这种东西。
这样对你比较好一点啊，不然那个全支线有时候你还要找那个，有时候你可能少了一些讯息，可能就要找半天。
没差啊，反正白金这种东西
就是可能你只要常找路人在聊天。他不是有板凳吗？来，加贼。
对啊。
过来讲。
我觉得可以啊，反正白金这种东西，它只是一个你给强迫症的人去做的东西嘛。不拿你剧情看完，对人家讲说就没啦，我觉得可以啊，为什么不行？我就不懂。哎，应该是政治正确。政治正确，然后游戏又不能做太难，还又不能猎杀动物，他妈杀小的。这年头做游戏都很困难的。我居然面对居然不是游戏 bug， 而是根本就不会玩游戏的人。
Those machines couldn't have been brought down easily. It sounds like fighting. The missing squad? It looks like a tech is with them. I better get in there.
我觉得这一代覆盖好没意义哦，啊，我还得等它结束诶。啊，我打它又不痛，那个覆盖机器啊，啊，等它死掉哦才有用诶，等它覆盖结束诶。以前覆盖就是直接覆盖完整啊，覆盖它死为止啊。啊，覆盖到它战死为止啊，会帮你的机器又不会很强这样。那我最好因为它这样卡剧情，因为我把机器干掉，这是做一些很没意义的事情。那这样覆盖他们的干嘛
Aloy. Good timing. Hateka, these weren't ordinary machines. They were overridden by rebels. Regala. Another poison to contend with. How did this start?
We fought our way up the river to here. And then we found that. We advanced to investigate. We had just started the climb when these machines attacked. Seemed like they were on patrol.
A pile of dead machines, a poison river, and Regala's rebels. That can't be a coincidence. I agree. Rest. And then head back to Thornmarsh. Little Zella is waiting for you. Aloy and I will take it from here.
Yes, Commander.
If there are rebels up there, it could be a trap.
We'll fight our way through regardless. You with me?
Let's find a way up.
On your lead, Aloy.
Up this way. Take this to a dyer later. It looks like we'll have to climb up the falls.
Right through the blood choke. Let's do it.
This water smells like rot.
Try living with it. Damn filth. All over my hands.
Just don't let go.
Don't have to tell me twice.
Oh, I hope this holds.
So many dead machines. How?
I'm okay.
Hear that?
It sounds like a machine. Wait!
We're exposed here.
He hasn't seen us. Come on, go away. Some kind of rebel camp.
So many machines. Butchered.
There's fresh water coming from those falls. That dam must be blocking it. We'll have to take out the rebels first before we can deal with it.
2 against many.
Look
All
alive,
for the
soldiers.
lowland.
Keep an eye out for machines or lowland. You see that? Stop talking, start searching. Whoever did this, let's go be close.
Here we go.
Kill them! Together!
Mm.
Alarm!
靠背。哦，这个凶，带盾直接被干掉。这一代比较讨厌的是那些人会戴头盔，我不能一枪直接把他爆头。戴个屁头盔！哇，这么多人啊！嗯。哇哦！判断错误形式。哇哈哈哈！当初 DLC 的怪果然很爆。 不是晕眩吗？晕眩符号还在，他这样给我站起来！你的 NPC 眼睛也是瞎、啊。
Thought the lowlanders would have come looking for this place by now. Guess the red poisons made them wait.
I'll have your tongue, scab.
Easy, Ateka.
Wish another machine would show up. David! Give the fire girl something to fight.
Expect another assault at any time.
给我戴头盔就是讨厌，不能爆头。
Let the lowlanders come. The fire girl will
This
burn
is
them
a
all.
find.
妈的，尸体会讲话。PS5 的感受扭曲。
That's the last one.
What were the rebels doing here?
Let's find out. Have a look around.
I thought I saw something over by the dam. I'll go check it out.
Okay, Casimir. Some machine lore. Well, that explains all these machines. But why put it here? My focus might show me more. The rebels had a large operation here. There has to be something else that'll tell us what was going on.
I thought I saw some equipment over by the falls. Maybe we missed something near the device. Come back, Aloy!
It's a message from one of the sons of Prometheus. It says the rebels were about to leave, but decided to guard the dam after the water started to clear.
They saw an opportunity and seized it. I thought I saw some equipment on the cliffs near the falls.
Machine scrap and broken corruptor components used for overrides. Were the rebels testing them here?
So all these dead machines are what? Failures?
Maybe.
I'll wait here.
That could do some damage.
Don't think I can follow you there.
One hit from this thing could do a lot of damage.
There's one of these at the Grove, in the arena. To put down machines.
I think I know what happened. The rebels were luring machines here so they could overrun people. But they couldn't get them all. So they killed some with the ballista, forming the dam. Once they realized it was blocking clean water from flushing away the blood choke, they decided to stay and protect it.
Spineless cowards, poisoning us until we waste away. The dam. Can you break it?
I'll take a look. I should scan the dam. Might show me a weak point. There's an explosive sac from a machine inside the dam. One hit could blow the whole thing up. I just need to find a way to expose it. Just what I needed. It's not making a dent. I might be able to pull part of the dam open. Expose the sac. Where's the sac? It's gonna take a powerful shot to blow it up. And I can't do both at once. The ballista.
Ateka, can you fire a bolt from the ballista while I hold this thing open?
I'm on it.
Let's hope this works. We did it. Ateka?
It's gone. After all this time, we're finally free of the poisoned waters. Thank you, Aloy. I must return to Thornmarsh. Meet me there when you can. You deserve a proper reward.
There's Thornmarsh. The rebels must have been spying on them. Might be a nice glide down. Going down!
这玩一玩之后有点萨尔达传说的感觉。在空中下去也可以飞起来。啊，走在路上可以拿这些药草做合成，还又要收集素材，又要打怪。啊，路上的所有怪都会朝你走过来，晚上的怪会特别强，干。
晚上怪会特别强。
还蛮萨尔达 feel， 为什么？
Who wants to play some machine strike?
Aloy, I was just recounting your deeds at the dam.
Our deeds. We did it together.
True enough. Look around. Thornmarsh is free of the blood choke. We don't have to live in fear of the poison.
It feels like for the first time in months, we can wash our wounds with clean water.
And how are you feeling, Zella?
Ready to hunt.
Not yet, little warrior.
I promised you a reward equal to your deeds. I cannot think of anything more fitting than this.
Thank you.
Wherever your travels take you, Aloy, may you always fly on the wings of the Ten.
哪天也可以去玩玩萨尔达。哦，不对，我还是一样先推荐打战神。没打过战神的要快去打啊，快出2代啦！没意外就是今年了。根据投保资讯是今年10月吧，9月底10月之类的，我不知道是不是真的。听说腾讯当初出1亿的价格让给那个游戏厂商，请他们做游戏。那个总监很阿萨里的说不要，因为是腾讯，因为是中国，对啊，不想做，直接推掉1亿元，赞。啊，还是走一下主线了。为什么船基地不会进去基地里面呢？我一定要在外面跑进去。
Situation. I know that. But if there were 2 of me walking around, I'd run for the hills and never look back. Come on, I'm being serious. So am I. What's on your mind?
What's wrong with your shoulder?
Yeah, it hurts a little. Yeah, maybe a lot.
What'd you do?
Well, I tried to arm wrestle with Catallo.
Yeah, maybe that wasn't such a great idea.
I was just curious to see if that new arm of his was as strong as it looked. Turns out it really is.
Let me know if you find any Sons of Prometheus in the Daunt. I'll keep scouting those rebel camps.
Be careful.
What's on your mind?
Anything new around here?
Kotalo showed me the schematics for his new arm. I recall reading about robotic limbs within the Legacy, but I never thought I'd see one in action. Technology like that would be treasured back home. Think of what it could do for injured workers or soldiers. But knowing the Imperial family, they would use it for different purposes. Their own.
Replacing body parts as they grow older. Like the Zeniths.
Exactly.
I better get going.
Let me know if you need me.
Welcome back. Aloy, I know your experience in Thebes was unsettling, but we have a new problem.
Did something go wrong with Beta and the rig? Will we be able to transport you to Gemini?
The rig is complete. The problem is Hephaestus itself. It has accelerated its proliferation throughout the Cauldron network, increasing its power.
But with your sub-functions restored, we can still succeed, right?
Correct. But the net effect is that absorbing Hephaestus will take longer than previously calculated.
How long?
Even with Omega clearance, my current estimate is that the merge will take 35 hours.
And each hour increases the risk of detection by the Zeniths. Two cores. Two overrides. What if the merge were carried out by two clones of Elizabeth Sobek, both armed with Omega clearance? How long then? Half the time?
Hephaestus would be unprepared for the simultaneous labor of two operators, in addition to obvious synergetic efficiencies. Calculating. It would reduce the merge time to approximately 4.5 hours.
Okay. Varl, it looks like we're gonna need Beta at Gemini. Do you think you can convince her?
I don't know, but I'll try.
What about our diversion? Are the pulse generators ready?
Only a final test remains. I am confident that if fired in proximity to other cauldrons, the pulses will mask our activities at Gemini from the Zeniths.
Good. As long as Aaron can operate one without shooting himself in the face.
Aloy, you better get down here. Beta's in bad shape.
Okay.
那个毛病永远有问题。
I believe Varl is still waiting for you, outside Beta's room.
I know. I just wanted to talk about something else first.
As you wish.
How's all of us settling in?
As soon as she arrived, Alva was eager to study the data in the archive. A particular file soon caught her attention. Information about a machine assistant devoted to keeping living spaces neat and orderly. I informed her that once I am empowered with the abilities of Hephaestus, I may be able to design such a machine.
I'm sure she'll like that. So our plan to capture Hephaestus. Let's go over it again.
As you wish. Thanks to Beta's test, we now know that Hephaestus will not respond to your Alpha clearance.
Which is why I got Ted Pharaoh's Omega clearance.
Correct. While you were gone, Beta constructed the transport rig and pulse generators. When we get to Gemini,
And then...
Not quite.
How long?
Because the work...
And during that time...
Correct. The energy...
And then we'll have... So I, found Thebes. What do you think Ted would have done if his life extension treatments had worked?
It seems he convinced himself it was his duty to guide future humans. Given the tribal nature of new humans, and his ability to use Omega clearance on the terraforming system, I imagine he would have convinced one or more tribes to worship him as their patriarchal deity.
Okay. Yep, glad that didn't happen. Aside from Gaia Prime and Thebes, there was one other underground facility that was sealed before the Pharaoh Plague reached it. Elysium. The place where Zero Dawn staff and their families went to live out their lives. Do you know what happened to it?
Elysium was designed to provide life support for 100 years. My data indicates the facility went offline well before then.
Did the Pharaoh Plague find them?
Unknown. My connection to the facility was abruptly severed.
So Gemini has
when no.
So our plan,
as you would,
which is why.
Correct. When we get to Gemini, I will need to be installed on one of the facility's cores. The second core is for Hephaestus. Using Omega clearance will allow you to trap it.
And then you'll be able to absorb it.
Not quite. You will need to manually remove Hephaestus's malicious code before the merge.
How long will that take?
Because the work will be split between you and Beta, it will take approximately 4.5 hours.
And during that time, the others will create a distraction for us using the pulse generators, right?
Correct. They will each take position at a cauldron door and fire off their device. The energy surge should mask our activities until the merge is complete.
And then we'll have everything we need to defeat the Zeniths. Sounds like a plan.
35个小时，到最后面只剩下4.5个小时。
Farewell for now.
事实证明说，他那个对话框不用那个海苔条也是看得清楚的。
哪一个？
对啊。
对啊。
做那海苔条，看来是他们自己程式忘了移除掉的。
Aloy. I tried, but it's impossible. I don't think anything will convince her to go.
We don't have a choice.
Good luck.
Beta, you have to come with us. It's the only way. It's one mission. The most important one. We need you. Tell me why you won't go. What if they take me back? Alone. In a cell again. A slave. Forever. The only way we can end the risk of that happening is by stopping the Zeniths for good. And in order to do that, we have to get Hephaestus. The Zeniths are a threat to everyone, Beta, not just you. So find your courage. That's easy for you to say. You still have no idea what they're capable of. I told you from the beginning, we'll never beat them. It's hopeless. Beta. Leave me alone! You don't understand!
You're right. I don't understand. We have the same genes, the same mind, the same heart. So why can't you find the strength to do what has to be done? Like Elizabeth would. Don't you think I've thought about that? I don't know what piece of Elizabeth I'm missing. I don't know what you have that I don't. I look through all the data from your focus. You were raised as an outcast, shunned, and isolated just like me, so what's the difference? What's my defect? Beta, you don't have a defect. Beta, look, it's not a piece of Elizabeth. The difference is, I had him. Frost. He raised you, trained you, but he was never warm or loving. The day he died, the day he gave you that charm, he was going to abandon you. He wanted me to embrace the tribe. But then he gave his life for mine. He loved me in his own way. And that was enough. What did it feel like? It was like having the strength that was always there. It's still there. Even now I hear him in my head when things get bad. When it looks impossible, look deeper. And then fight like you can win. You don't have to go on the mission. We'll find another way. I'll go. You're right. I'll only be safe from them when we succeed. But you have to promise me one thing. Yes, of course. If it goes bad, if the Zeniths find us, I don't want to be their slave again. Do you understand? Okay. Promise? I promise. I could use as much time as you can give me to study up on the merge, to make it as efficient as possible. I'll be ready when you are. I swear.
Aloy, whenever you are ready, come speak to me and I'll ask the others to make final preparations for the mission.
有双子宫应该还是有别的东西，还有别的字，应该没懂。
Hey, I thought I'd check in before leaving for Gemini.
Are you sure we shouldn't be checking up on you? Whatever went on between you and Beta sounded intense. Not that I'm judging. Forge knows all the screws flew loose every time Mercer and I fought.
I think we'll be fine from now on.
I'm glad to hear it.
Anybody take you up on that ale you brought yet?
Zoe can't stand the smell of it. I tried Alva, but I don't think she knows what taking a break means. And I'm not putting Varl anywhere near that stuff after that victory party in Meridian.
What about Catalo?
Ah, now there's a man that can hold his liquor. Pretty sure we downed half a keg. We had a good chat, I think.
After we get Hephaestus, we'll be taking the fight to the Zeniths. So,
No more reading.
It wasn't that bad. Not really. Besides, going through all that data helped me realize something. You know, the soldiers, the ones that fought the Pharaoh machines so Gaia could be built, they were fighting a battle that couldn't be won. Not with all the weapons in the world. I think most of them realized that, whether anyone said it or not. And they still did it, though. They bought time for all the eggheads working to save the future. Our future. As long as I can do that for you, I'll consider myself a success.
Thank you, Erend. I'm glad you're with me.
Okay, enough. I'm gonna get emotional.
I should go.
Same here. I got a date with a cauldron to prepare for.
Aloy, everything okay with you and Beta? It sounded like you guys had a, lively conversation.
We just had a lot to talk about.
Does this mean she's coming with us to Gemini?
It does. I hope you're ready to rein in the most stubborn AI of all time.
That's what all this was for, wasn't it?
Hephaestus won't go down quietly.
Hephaestus is just a program that's lost its way. We are fighting for our survival. I can always call upon the goddess if you're nervous.
Funny. How does everything seem to you?
Anxious, but ready. I heard Katalo ask for Alva's help with his pulse generator. And I know he's been helping her with a few fighting techniques, just in case.
I hope they aren't needed.
Like I said, just in case.
Any last findings you want to share before leaving?
Not really. Though I've reached a decision.
Oh?
When we put Gaia together, I want to return to the Nora. Spread what I've learned.
You think they'll listen to you?
In time, I believe so.
If anyone can make it happen, it's you, Varl. What will you and Zoe do if you go back to the Embrace?
I hope she'll come with me. At least for a while. And I'll go with her to Plainsong too. She'll probably want to talk to her people about all this as well. We'll figure it out.
I know you will. I hope firing off those pulse generators will be enough to distract the Zeniths.
It'll work. It has to.
Always optimistic, huh?
Nah, just stubborn. It's a good quality to have when dealing with you.
Yeah, right. You were right, you know, about keeping Rost's memories buried. I guess part of me thought he was holding me back, because he wanted me to be a Nora. But the truth is, he gave me a lot. And I took him for granted.
He was a good man. He raised you well.
I'm glad you're coming with me, Varl.
Sure there's no urge to run off alone in there somewhere?
No more running. Hey, we'll be going after Hephaestus soon. You good with the plan?
I've already got the location of my assigned cauldron.
Good.
I heard you and Beta had a talk.
News travels fast.
It wasn't exactly a quiet conversation.
There were just things that needed to be said.
A healthy crop to those who clear the weeds between them, as the Utaru say.
You look like you have something on your mind.
We're going to war soon. And war is something I promised myself I'd left behind in the Red Raids. But the more of your data I go through, every voice I hear, every word I read from our ancient past, it makes me realize just how much life was given so that ours could flourish. Fighting for that gift, it's our responsibility. If we fail, it was all for naught.
Helps to know you're not alone.
For a moment there, you sounded like Varl.
I don't know what you're talking about. I should go.
As soon as you intend to leave for Gemini,
you'll hear about it. I hope I'm not interrupting.
Not at all. I was just studying the pulse generator schematics. The ones Gaia and Beta built. The craftsmanship is remarkable. Is everything alright? It sounded like there was an issue with Beta and the mission.
Not anymore. We just needed to talk some things through.
To understand one another is to embrace truth. Oh, and if you have a moment, there's something I could use your help with.
Have you spoken with Zoe at all?
A little bit, but I did hear her singing with Varl not too long ago. I don't think they noticed. Zoe seemed so free when she did it. Like every emotion she had was taking flight in song. And she looked happier because of it. I felt so dull and nervous in comparison.
You should ask Zoe to teach you sometime. About Utaru music.
Maybe.
If you need anything before heading out to the cauldron...
You have nothing to worry about. Gaia's explained your plan in detail, as expected from such an efficient AI. I've even received some very, succinct combat advice from Kotalo. You know, in case the Zeniths show up.
What kind of advice?
He, told me to run.
For now. We'll even the odds soon enough. Any more data catch your eye?
All of it? I have so much to study up on. Years, actually. I'm particularly interested in the Odyssey. We knew the ancestors had made it to the moon. In fact, we theorized some of them had settled on it. But Sirius is way farther than that. And we thought journeying across the ocean would be the feat of a lifetime. The sheer calculations needed for space travel. It's overwhelming to think about.
Even so, the Quen are way ahead of other tribes when it comes to understanding this stuff. Where I grew up, everyone thought that stars were sparks that rose from a fire lit by the goddess to guide us through the night. Must be strange to think that some of the ancestors your tribe reveres are still alive. And here on Earth, right now.
Yeah, it is. Part of me's curious to know who else besides Eric Visser might be among them. Maybe Nikita Arand? We call her the Spark. The legacy tells us she brought unlimited energy to the old ones. Or Sung Jiao, whom we call the Healer. It is said she found new ways to extend the ancestors' lifespans. But my curiosity fades when I think of how different our view of Visser was compared to the reality that you experienced. Perhaps it is better not to know.
You mentioned there was something you needed help with?
Yes. So, as I was sifting through data from the greenhouse, I found references to an old world system back in the Great Delta. It's called Leviathan. My people discovered it decades ago. A sprawling network of river gates and a labyrinth of underground tunnels. The legacy revealed that the old ones used it to control flooding. But we've never gotten it to work. The whole thing is shut down. But the data from the greenhouse mentions the research facility where Leviathan was created. It's in San Francisco.
Another Pharaoh facility?
No. Leviathan was a project by Eileen Sasaki, another ancestor.
Sasaki.
So the legacy tells us, anyway, if we can acquire that data, we might be able to fix the system back in the Great Delta. Every year, my sister gets terrified when the long rains begin. With Leviathan, maybe she won't have to be.
Okay. So, where in San Francisco is this facility?
That's the thing. The data doesn't say where, exactly. But one of our diviners has been exploring the ruins. He might know. Would you come with me? I have a feeling that wherever this facility is, well, You're much better at fighting machines than I am.
Of course. I'll let you know when I'm in landfall.
Thank you, Aloy.
I should go. Make sure you talk to Gaia if you have any questions about the pulse generators.
May your path lead to truth.
And, like I said, I'll let you know when I'm in landfall. We'll find the data you're after.
I appreciate it.
All this time, I've been so focused on what Elizabeth was like, what she would do. I was wrong to hold Beta to that standard. I probably shouldn't even be doing it to myself. I'll try to do better. So much of who I am is because of Rost. Even now, he's still teaching me. And he'd probably scold me for taking so long to learn the lesson.
罗斯特就跟那个什么破晓里面那个老爸一样，没有多少，但是都有他的事的。剧情没带多少，二代更是没人连他的名字都没，连个影子而已，就出现从头到尾。
Really? Why not?
I once knew a warrior who discovered he had a brother late in life. It was deeply uncomfortable for him.
Did he ever get over it?
In time. But not before the two siblings nearly killed each other in a single combat challenge.
Ah. Well, at least I avoided that. Are you nervous about the mission ahead?
If I live, it will be in victory. If I die, it will be in battle. What matters most is that you achieve your objective.
I'll do my best. Think you're ready to put all your training to the test?
I am Tenakth. I am always ready.
I bet people are curious about that new arm of yours.
None more than our Quen ally, I assure you. She couldn't wait to take it apart and figure out how it works. I gave her the data I used to build the thing, hoping that would satisfy her curiosity instead.
Good luck with that. I should go get ready.
I await your orders.
要大战喽！然后是把传奇装备，然后完全没有升级，竞技场的传 竞技这样传奇装备啊，都拿到了，但是都没有升级过，素材都不够，也没去打。
素材很少啊，所以你光农素材可以打1个晚上吧。
哇塞！
可能还只是打了弓箭，你打完了吗？
就连打都没有打没。
可能光打1、2样，大概就打了晚上了，就是为了把它升到全满这样子。
想要不知道是上了没有人买不到啊？
买不到，因为那个基本上都是一些大型的东西，就是你商人换不到啊，所以你就要自己去打素材啊。
So, about Beta. I never really saw the difference between us until now. She's been through so much. Completely alone.
You have both endured many hardships. Different in almost every respect, yet equally remarkable. I like to think of you as 2 miracles, born of Elizabeth Sobek.
3, then. Let's not forget about you, Gaia. When I set out to find a way to bring you back, I never thought we'd be here, like this. Among friends.
They have all come a long way with their improvised educations. Varl has suggested that one day we might extend this model to more tribal inhabitants, once the biosphere has been stabilized.
Yeah, that's not such a bad idea. As long as you're the one running the lessons. So what will happen to this place while we're at Gemini?
All systems within this facility will continue to operate. As Minerva will no longer be masking this location, the facility will be exposed to detection. Though without my presence, it is unlikely to attract attention.
Let's hope so. Gaia? What was Elizabeth like?
Her presence is interwoven with my memories. The moment I came online, she was there. We exchanged greetings, names, then set to our task. It was the first of many conversations. I enjoyed being in her company, listening to her stories. She was my creator, my guide.
Your friend?
Yes. When I reviewed the data on your focus, I was saddened to learn of her fate, though I am glad she made it home. I deeply wish she did not have to be alone.
She was okay with that. She gave all of herself. Did all that she could. Thanks, Gaia. Okay, people. It's time to head out.
I'll get everyone together.
connections in place. Booting up.
Beta, Aloy. I am fully installed on this core and ready to connect to the Cauldron network.
It's good to hear your voice. Errand, everyone. Fire your pulses and sound off.
I'm at my cauldron. This thingy, it's blinking. Did I do it right? In position at my cauldron. My pulse generator is blinking also.
That means they're working. I'm in position and mine is too. Mine as well.
Okay. Radio silence until I give the all clear. Signing off. Gaia, let's cage the beast.
Connecting to the Cauldron network now.
Elizabeth Sobek, Alpha Prime, activating Omega clearance. Elizabeth Sobek, Alpha Prime, activating Omega clearance.
Clearance confirmed. Initiating containment sequence.
Critical threat detected. Imperative escape containment. Applying countermeasures.
Lock it down!
Terminating external connections.
It's working. It's got nowhere to go.
Capture imminent. Initiating contingency 13F.
Wait, what's that?
Malware detected. Attempting to compensate.
It's cracked.
Look!
Activated. Engage. Autonomous defenses. Directive. Neutralize.
That means machines are on their way. Get ready.
Here they come.
Vor'll stay here. Protect Beta.
Got it.
Be careful.
拜托，好歹让贝塔穿个装吧。就把他带出去要打仗啊，然后连个装备都不给人家穿，是啥小？这太过分了。他穿布衣，你知道吗？我想说，靠呗，你让人家去出生入死没问题，人家也出生入死了，你好歹也穿个装吧。此战凶险啊，兄弟！
我很勇力。
自己先撑着点好吗？
That's all of them for now. You two okay?
Still breathing.
Festus can't escape, but it must have fled deeper into the facility.
靠背啊，这里怎么有个深坑啊？吓死我了！说让人家穿个装备啊，虽然说你们这装备至少可以挡一次冲击吧，要不然就害死了。
You don't have Festus. I'll find another way over.
Ugh, 关起来。哦，点。哪里了？
Aloy, I'm patched into your focus feed.
for the heads up. I'm almost there. It's some kind of production chamber. Festus is up to something, all right?
What kind of machine is it trying to build?
I don't know, but I'm gonna shut it down. I bet those metal carriers will lead me to where it's getting materials from.
I bet that's where Festus is hiding too.
I gotta find where Festus is hiding. Looks like there are a couple of ways I could go. Machines are making a beeline for another chamber. I better follow them. Time to fight. I gotta find a way past the shields. There's a way over the shield. There has to be a way to get past the shield.
Aloy, I've managed to rewire most of the components in the core, but the energy processor's cracked. Without a way to fabricate another... There should be a node you can override near the central platform.
Yes. I should deal with these machines first.
哦，太准了吧！上面预测你的攻击范围，你的闪避点。我操！这么痛的吗？靠背。
The machine's on the way. Beta! Hephaestus has locked me out of the node. Any ideas?
I'll see what I can do.
Copy.
Down it goes.
吼！而且有趣的是，它其实2代才生出来那些函数的名称，1代根本就没讲，就是什么波塞顿啊，什么奥菲托斯之类的，1代其实没这些东西啊。1代他们从属函数只有一个阿波罗，是说是要用来制作那个知识库的而已，其余的什么资料都没有。这一代全部生出来，每一个从属函数都有名字，这样。一开始看剧情的时候你看不懂，利息这些东西是从哪里来的？什么时候这些有名字了？我怎么都不知道，我知道他们是从属函数而已，我什么都不知道。你说太久就是太久，我忘记就算了，我还是打过1代再去打2代的，他妈的根本就不是生，主线根本就没这东西，你忽然生这名称，好像说你在讲什么？可能要省个爆破。然后 Ender Ring 啊，国外有出现一个锤头哥，叫让我 solo 他，帮助一堆人干掉一堆女武神，就叫他出来，他的名字叫 Let me solo her， 让我 solo 他，哦，专门，然后大家真的是给他 solo， 然后就打完。你就看他很屌的单挑，而且他是没穿装的，裸装哦。穿就带着一个贴头，裸装，然后经过听说有人去采访他啦，我不知道从哪来采访，他说他自己打女武神打几百场这样。
I'm making progress on the bypass, but I need something to hold the cycling module together.
Maybe a ligament from one of the machine carcasses?
Right. Or some luminous braiding.
You could reinforce it with a conversion cylinder.
For increased connectivity.
那个 Speedwall 不是也是1级的，那个也很恶心啊。
哦，
不升等。他是拿那个打蛇那一把矛啊。火山那个叫什么名字？好像
拉卡德啊。
拉卡德啊，拉卡德不是前面中一把打倒蛇头矛啊。
蛇猎手嘛。还好那个就跟那个魂山的风暴梭克是很像，针对单一的特殊武器。
没有啊，他到最后都是用那一把去打的。
对啊，那个基础属性比较好啊。好，不意外会拿那一把，因为那个是初期可以获得，并且有一定程度攻击能力的武器啊。
而且它就是1级就可以拿，这是一个重点，这个腿应该。还
好啦，有些武器基本上还是看一些数值就好。 啊，有些职业出身素质就是那样子啊，所以那个没有一定。然后那个吹头哥还出现冒牌货，叫让你 solo 他 ，Let you solo her， 然后 solo her， 然后他在旁边看戏，从头到尾真的在旁边看戏，我笑死。然后经过 1.04 版本，我们的女武神变更强了，因为出现一个 bug， 她使用水鸟乱舞的时候，就算砍空气也可以回血。不过这也不妨碍我们的雷米 solo her 把它干掉。不过听说花15分钟一场这样，因为回血实在太麻烦。他就是拿一把武器，然后就是用裸身去跟他打。我没看过他怎么。差不多啦。他自己对自我能力的一个挑战咯。像我们妈出血流拿出来，对不对？靠！再来，还有更多。我要开大啊！开大就是要多的怪啊！我大就没什么意义了。1.04版本改强了重型武器。狮子掌。他的狮子斩超强的，他可以直接一下就可以把那个用那一招战技就可以直接把那个什么那个不是地下墓穴，水沟那边不是有那个吗？巨人，一下就把他就是趴在地上，所以可以无伤把那个巨人 A 到死。
Okay. Festus is running out of places to hide.
Emily? I just registered a huge energy surge back in the production chamber. Something big is happening.
Here too. Everything's glowing.
The machine that Festus was building. They must have finished it.
It's powerful, whatever it is. I'm almost done with the core repairs. Should we come to you? Maybe I could distract the machine if...
No, Beta. Just stay where you are, okay? Handling the machine's my job.
看来就是你所谓的第43的武器的机器人了。就是猎杀机哦，切！还以为是很屌的东西。
没有啦，你最后一只是在那个就是那个岛里面啊，就是你还不能去探索的那个岛啊。
不知道在哪里了，我没有去看。
在，算是在
地图的下方吗？
下方啊，对啊。
哦，那个我就知道。
但我觉得网猎杀级还比网难打。
不知道。
没有，我觉得网真的做得
没有，因为我是超难，我应该怎样都很难。
没有啦，我是说平常我这样打猎杀级跟打雷霆牙打起来的感觉，觉得还比网还难打。哦，很简单。其实就没怎样，就是前面可能因为他也没小怪单挑啊。
哦，那就跟那个啊一代很像啊。
但是我看你一代打那个给息还算多啊，就是他给息超少的，没什么攻击，每个几下就爆了。好难困。没有 BOSS 的感觉。
猎杀级野外就看过了。
There should be one more node to override.
Good. Stand by. I'm sending Hephaestus back to you.
不难啊，猎杀级，准备好都可以轻松。我在玩一代的时候，有一次没准备好，然后在打风暴鸟，我妈拿弓箭射他快吐血。普攻！
Make sure it stays there. I'm heading back.
哇，如果说你要玩，如果是你的话，有很多东西要玩，战神，然后还有这个的一代。
And you, Laurel. We couldn't have done any of this without you.
Right back at you, Aloy.
火力重，我也在推云南玩这一款，他说之后有玩，也就是不知道他现在在玩什么事。
Aloy, the bypass is done.
The core is stable. Hephaestus is 100% contained. And we better get started with the merge. It's all set up.
Gaia, establish the link, please.
Done.
To complete the merge, we need to excise Hephaestus' malicious code. Carefully.
"哎，解锁小游戏啊！可恶，为什么不让玩家玩？ 没有意外，意外就会发生。
Redundant copy. You cost us quite a lot of time. Eric, get Beta. And squash that bug while you're at it. Ooh! Get behind me. Come on! Quit screwing around. Yeah, we're having fun, right? Finally. Tilda, get Gaia and Hephaestus ready for transport. Tilda!
I failed.
Hush. All is not lost.
Tilda! What the hell are you doing? Stop her! I can't even see her!
Beta.
Ah, you're awake. You took quite a hit when Gerard attacked you. I imagine you must still be in a great deal of pain. I can assure you that we are safe. The others can't detect us here.
You mean the other Zeniths? You must be Tilda.
I wasn't sure if Beta would have told you about me.
Where is she?
Alive. And while she isn't where she wants to be, not in urgent danger. We must discuss how to get her back, of course, after you've shaken off the cobwebs. When you're ready, take the stairs down the hall and come see me. In the meantime, I'll make breakfast.
Breakfast? Okay.
不出意外就是会出意外。
看，真是坑。最终 DLC 还要889。
88节，88节。
激战30啊，就是他在昨天，
我知道，
出一个新的 DLC。那奇怪，怎么有一个 DLC 我没有买？我是买的季票。这季票只有1跟2，
哦，对啊，
只剩 DLC 3。所以，如果你还要再
买啊，
就再买。问题是，就这一代算很简单啊，就是说再买就是机体而已啊。也没有错，我刚才就稍微看一下谁上，哦，干，他有一个很屌的给星，那个就是他不是一个那个 OG 吗？就是原创系列，有没有？机器人大战原创系列， 干那个有一个最屌的斩剑刀啊！
看，
干那一个家伙又出来了。
斩剑刀，
斩剑刀，没有砍不断的东西呀、
超爽。
那个真的啊，他历代设定，干他那一把就是超强的。
Why do you keep the forgery?
强到哦，不要真正是看到战舰的咧，吼，超过一刀一只咧。
哎，
那个真的是强到你不想用它，因为修强啊，还绑到免怕。
Sharper.
Good eye. The details are crisp. The contrast bold. It tells us more, and yet we feel less.
What's in the letter?
Who can say? What does the painting tell you?
She's concerned. Whatever's written in the letter troubles her. Burden she can't put down.
Fascinating.
Why go through so much effort to make a fake masterpiece?
The forger initially painted under his own name, but found little success. His work was considered unremarkable. But when he took on the guise of Vermeer, suddenly it was celebrated as extraordinary.
But it was a lie, and he knew it.
Sometimes we struggle to glean what is real and imagined, even within ourselves. The irony of these two is that Vermeer died in obscurity. He had no idea his work would become some of the most precious, most copied, most preserved pieces in all history. Selene and Endymion. She's the goddess of the moon, whereas he's a simple shepherd. Beside her is the god of love, Cupid.
So she's sneaking up on him?
More like visiting him in secret. The torch that Cupid bears represents Selene's undying infatuation with him. Though the two must remain apart, her love will forever.
我们反正不会去看什么东西，就知道一些故事有错。
Selene took a vow of chastity, promising to never take a lover. So when she fell in love with Endymion, she could only visit him at night while he slept.
But then wouldn't she be breaking that vow?
Think of it as a forbidden love. Though circumstance keeps them apart, still they find a way to come together, however briefly.
Aren't Selene and Endymion cold?
Perhaps we should move on to another piece.
问了
Shall we move on?
问了不合时宜的话，人家是裸体，他们不会冷吗？那我们看下一步好了，笑死了。
A portrait of the painter, Rembrandt's son Titus.
最外行人，我问的话，啊，他们穿这样不会冷哦。
I don't get it. Why would someone like you, with infinite resources,
有种拿蒙娜丽莎出来，我看你被搞死。
A boy in a hood.
It's not the image itself, but the feeling it conveys. The face is bright and defined, but his eyes are downcast, heavy with misfortune. And the background seems to swallow all light. The painting is infused with a sense of loss.
I guess I understand how the painter feels.
Works of art such as these can often cause us to look inwards at our own lives. I'm sorry about your friend. Had I been able to intervene, I would have. But the risk of losing you as well was too great.
Everything went by in a blur. I couldn't get to him.
You know, long before holograms and focus recordings, people relied on art to memorialize their loved ones. Because of works like this painting, their lives are immortalized. Rembrandt had 4 children by his wife. All but Titus died shortly after she gave birth to them. She passed not long after that. Titus became the only family Rembrandt had.
Which is why he painted him this way.
Indeed. Then tragedy struck again. Disease claimed Titus at 26. It's almost as if Rembrandt painted the future, closing in on him. Rembrandt actually painted several portraits of Titus, but this one has always been my favorite. It's honest.
What do you mean?
In others, Titus was portrayed in brighter, livelier states, but here, Rembrandt allows himself to express his true feelings. Sorrow, fear, hope, love. Laid bare on canvas for all time. I see this one resonates deeply with you. Rembrandt's The Night Watch, by far the most famous painting my homeland ever produced. It was commissioned to honor a militia made up of influential citizens.
I guess you must have been an influential citizen.
In my day. But not as influential as you've been in this new world.
The militia. They look disorganized.
Where others painted such scenes in a stiff and stationary manner, Rembrandt chose to show them in action, preparing to march. He wanted them to feel alive. You can almost hear the commotion.
Who's the girl in the painting?
She's a strange one, isn't she? Bathed in light, though no one is paying attention to her. Many believe she's a symbol of the militia. A physical manifestation of their spirit, if you will.
But she's not real?
What's real in a painting? She's meant to represent the militia's virtue and victory. But I like to think they underestimate her. She looks as if she's seen something. What does she know? What secrets does she keep? There's so much detail to take in, isn't there?
这新神话说的跟我们当初在上那个艺术课的时候，老师讲话一模一样。
The Gust by Willem van de Velde, the most famous of his many maritime paintings.
A ship crossing into the unknown. I guess you're familiar with that.
Indeed, which is why I appreciate this composition in particular. Though waves and wind threaten to destroy the ship, it perseveres, clinging to the light even as darkness closes in all around it.
Where is the ship going?
To a faraway land, most likely. My ancestors used ships like these to explore the world, sometimes at great cost.
What were they looking for?
Anything of value. They were traders willing to face unknown dangers to make their fortunes. But no matter how far they went, they always turned their sails home.
So this Van de Velde only painted ships?
It was his specialty. Following in the footsteps of his father, Willem the Elder. The two had quite a journey of their own, taking them all the way to the court of a foreign kingdom.
Did they ever come home?
No, but eventually their lives worked it. Take your time. Stunning, isn't it? Paintings were the only masterpieces of my people's golden age. This is Van Vianen's lidded ewer, molded from a single sheet of silver.
What was it for?
How like Elizabeth you are. Function over form. Its practical purpose was less important than its meaning. Van Vianen created it in honor of his late brother, who himself was a famous silversmith.
A memorial?
Yes. Such beauty from sorrow.
If this ewer was a memorial, how did you end up with it?
As the Pharaoh swarm closed in, my homeland's greatest museum gave it to me, along with many other works, in the hope that I could preserve them. A masterpiece like this was too important to lose to history. I even considered bringing it with me off-world to ensure its safety.
Why didn't you?
I took a calculated risk. This vault seemed more secure than the unknowns of space. Besides, I thought someday I might return. A long life, after all, has its advantages. Now, lo and behold, here I am. Exquisite, isn't it?
Weight on his shoulders. I should move on. She's pulling out her own hair. Madness out of grief. It's hard to watch her suffer. I should move on.
看你的艺术大作。
我是想说，他这一条杠怎么没消失？那不是看完了吗？
那些动物森友会啊，
没有艺术品啊。
没有，动物森友会有一个博物馆的。
我知道，我是说我现在没有艺术品。
然后那个格局还蛮像的，我猛一看而已。
我想说这个任务怎么完成？他不是叫我看艺术品吗？啊，艺术品应该看都看完，那个没有消失。
都没有干掉。
对啊。啊，这里。晚安。
Morning what?
His home. The ancient city of Jerusalem. He foresaw its impending doom, but could do nothing to prevent it. So instead, he saved its treasures from destruction, just as I saved these works. You could say we're kindred spirits.
About Jeremiah. If he knew his home would be destroyed, why didn't he save the people? Why save those relics?
He tried, but no one would listen to his warning, so he saved what he could.
But how did he know?
He was a prophet. He saw an army invade and destroy the city in a vision.
So it's more like he calculated which side would win a battle.
What matters is that he was right in the end. If not for him, all those wonders would have been lost forever. At least this way, some part of his world survived. You know what I like the most about this piece? Even though he's the sole survivor, his home in ruins, left with only the remnants of his world. The light keeps the shadows at bay.
There's still hope.
Precisely. Take as long as you like.
There you are. Feeling better?
How did you find us? At the cauldron? And what did you do to everyone right before I passed out?
All business, I see. Well, suffice it to say we were keeping a very close eye on Hephaestus, knowing we would need it at some point. Your ruse didn't fool us, and as for my little trick, it was an overload of the senses, accompanied by an energy discharge. Gerard and Eric were only momentarily disoriented due to their shields, but it rendered you unconscious while I got you out. Perhaps some breakfast might steady you a bit?
This was your house. The one you recreated for Beta, in the data channel you shared.
How perceptive of you. Please, this way.
After everything your people have done, you think I'm just gonna sit down and have a chat with you?
They're not my people. They never were, and especially not now.
You shot off into space with them, and lived with them for 1,000 years before coming back. So what made you suddenly turn on them?
Quite simply, this.
My old focus. You repaired it? But that means you've seen
incredible things. What you've accomplished in 2 decades of life. A 1,000 years at my back and I haven't even come close. I'm sorry if I invaded your privacy, but I had to. In order to understand. To be enlightened. You truly are Elizabeth's blood. With her drive, her sense of mission, her integrity. Watching all this shamed me for the company that I've kept. Having seen it, all I want is to help you.
Even if it means stopping your friends?
Especially so. Please, sit down. That's better. Now, we must recover Beta and Gaia at all costs. By now, you must know that Gerard intends to use Gaia to reboot the Earth's biosphere. Remaking this world to specifications that would only suit us immortals. This process will kill every living thing on the planet. He calls it a clean install.
Not if I stop him first.
Not if we do. And once he and the others are gone, we can work together to fulfill Elizabeth's dream. I'm sure Beta told you that there's a build of the Apollo database on board our ship. A complete collection of human knowledge. With that and Gaia, we could do everything Elizabeth wanted. Heal the biosphere, educate the people of this world, uplift them. Create the world she imagined.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. From what I've seen, your friends are invincible.
I do wish you would stop calling them my friends. And they're not invincible. In fact, a friend of yours has found a way to defeat them.
Silence.
Oh, he's been a busy bee. Building an army powerful enough to crash through Gerard's precious base.
Yeah. Regala and her rebels.
Even now she's preparing a final march on the Tenakth capital. When she wins, she'll have the entire tribe under her control. Hundreds of warriors and machines to throw at the base. She's been duped. They'll all perish, of course. But it should be enough to break Gerard's defenses and allow Silence to kill him. Along with all the others.
Using the new weapon he's developed.
Yes, he's found a way to circumvent our shields. Truly an exceptional man. He's planned for everything. Except you and me. You see, while his army is battering down Gerard's doors, you and I will sneak in through a back way. One that only I know about. While Silence and my friends are busy battling each other, we'll take back Beta and Gaia. I told you I want to help you. I mean it.
My old focus. How did you find it, let alone repair it?
When we encountered you at the Hades Proving Lab, Gerard saw you as a redundancy. I knew better. You were a revelation. After your dramatic escape, bravo, by the way. Gerard and Eric assumed you were dead and gave up the hunt. I wasn't so sure. When the others were busy, I returned to the lab and searched for any trace of you. That's when I found this little treasure. Not easy to repair, but certainly worth the effort. As I watched your life unfold, you were like a splash of color on a worn canvas. What Liz was, and more.
Did you show it to the others?
Of course not. It was your actions that inspired me to defy them. It's worth noting that if I hadn't found it and watched its contents, I wouldn't have known to save you at the cauldron. You'd be dead.
So I should be grateful?
If you like.
Beta told me your colony was destroyed. That you came back to Earth because you had nowhere else to go.
It's true. After we reached our destination, a planet in the Sirius star system, we spent decades building a new home. The physical constraints of Earth, the boundaries of mortality, gone. To think of what we could have done with it. It might have been a utopia. Instead, we stagnated, absorbed in effortless comforts and virtual realities. It took a cataclysm to finally yank us out of our stupor.
What happened?
A massive geological event. We knew of instabilities in the planet core, but we underestimated them. By the time the collapse was upon us, it was too late to stop it. Only a few of us made it to the ship in time. We set course for Earth, the only safe harbor left to us.
Which you decided to make unsafe for anyone else.
Not me. Gerard. He believes it's better to wipe the canvas clean than work around the smudges. No more primitive tribes, no more combat machines, only a blank slate to do with as he pleases. But we will stop him. All we have to do is get into that base.
So you know all about me. What about you?
What would you like to know?
Well, start with your life on Earth.
When I was 8, terrorists flooded my home city. Thousands drowned, my parents included. I was one of the few who survived. My guardian sent me to boarding school. Among my peers, I was the strange girl, the orphan to be avoided. All because of circumstances beyond my control.
Oh. So we're a lot alike, huh?
Aren't we? You were an outcast. But you didn't let that stop you from getting what you needed. Neither did I. I climbed my way out of desolation and used my wits to build a fortune. First, from the technical analysis of art and the detection of forgeries. Profitable expertise in those days. But as it turned out, the software I developed was even more useful for counterintelligence. From there, it was only a short step to gathering extremely valuable intelligence on my own.
You were a spy?
More like a service one could turn to for information. I had to remain anonymous, of course, to protect my privacy. But despite that anonymity, Far Zenith inevitably sought me out.
What happened when Far Zenith approached you?
They painted an irresistible vision of humanity's future. One where we need not fear illness or death, where we explored the furthest reaches of the stars and thrived. It was only later that I realized that they only intended to bequeath this future to the rich and powerful. By the time I finally figured it out, the walls were closing in, Faro's machines were devouring the Earth. So I accepted Far Zenith's invitation to a berth on the Odyssey. I wanted Liz to come, but she had nobler plans, as you well know.
So you didn't know the other Zeniths were monsters until it was too late?
I knew some of them were. Certainly. It wasn't until we were off-planet that I understood the true scope of their greed. I was grateful to simply be alive, but the others became obsessed with a kind of effortless immortality. They built a colony where machines serviced their every need, where any memory or fantasy could be endlessly savored in virtual reality. It wasn't life. It was stultifying, a pampered dream state. As the decades passed, I withdrew more and more, alone yet again, but this time with eons to consider my mistakes. Now finally, having met you, I feel like I have a second chance.
To do what?
Help you, of course. To fulfill Liz's dream, which isn't so different from Far Zenith's original vision. A better future for humanity.
You said Beta is not in urgent danger, so what are the Zeniths doing to her?
Putting her to work. Merging Hephaestus with Gaia. A difficult, time-consuming task, as I'm sure you know. They will compel her if need be, but her life is not in danger. She's the only one who can do it.
Because you people made her to be nothing but a tool.
Gerard's idea, not mine. They always viewed me with suspicion when I attempted any form of kindness towards her. That's why I created the data channel. A virtual place where we could speak in peace.
So this channel you shared with Beta, none of the other Zeniths ever found out about it.
Gerard believes he's the most cunning of all of us. Even after 1,000 years, he still can't imagine that I would outwit him. The channel allowed me to interact with Beta away from their mistrustful eyes. It offered us a chance to be ourselves.
Until you cut off all contact.
Yes. Though it pained me. I was worried that our meetings would do her more harm than good.
Well, she felt like you tossed her aside.
I was afraid the others would find out and punish her. She may not have had the comforts of friendship anymore, but at least I ensured she was safe. I know it seems harsh, but you must believe that her well-being has always been paramount to me.
Why did you make the data channel look like this place?
I built this house as a shelter to weather any storm. A safe place. Not just for me, but for the art stored below. Cultural artifacts of incalculable value. Truly some of the greatest achievements of human civilization.
And you wanted Beta to see them?
Yes. Her upbringing was so cold and technical. I thought if she could experience Vermeer and Rembrandt, it would bring something else into her life. A heritage every bit as valuable as the scientific and technical data being drummed into her. I'm sorry I had to cut off contact, but I'll never regret sharing this house with her. She needed its shelter even more than I did.
What exactly is your plan to sneak into the Zenith base?
We will make use of a lesson I learned from an early age. Always know your exits. In this case, a place where Gerard's new construction meets the ancient foundation, a passage that only I can access. When Silence flings his army at the base, we will enter through this back door, bypassing most of the fighting. The distraction will provide us with a window in which to rescue Beta and Gaia.
Once we're inside the base, where will we find Beta and Gaia?
Here in the command center. By then, Gaia will have been reunited with all of its subordinate functions, including Hephaestus.
What about the alpha build of Apollo on your ship?
A simple matter of recovery once the others have been dealt with. With that in hand, we'll have everything we need to make this world as it should be.
How do you know about Silence's plan?
He isn't the only one adept at spyware.
You hacked his focus?
No, he's too careful for that. But his subordinates? Not so much. He gave additional focuses to the tribals he branded the Sons of Prometheus.
The ones working with Regala.
By tapping their focuses, I learned about most of his dealings. The distribution of override technology, the arming of Tanakh rebels, and the secret pact with Regala to attack Gerard's base.
But how did he come up with a weapon that can take down your shields?
That's the one thing I haven't been able to figure out, but however he did it, I'm quite certain it will work. With it and the Tanakh army, victory seems to be within his grasp. Such a shame he'll be disappointed.
Regala's only interested in killing Hekarro and waging war on the Karja. What does she have to gain by attacking Zenith?
It's the price she must pay for her war. Without the ability to override machines, her little rebellion would have languished in the desert.
So she trades with the Sons of Prometheus. Machines to help her overthrow Hekarro.
In exchange for an assault on the base. Pride has deluded her into thinking she can actually survive such a battle. And all without ever knowing who the Sons of Prometheus really answer to. Yet for all of Silence's brilliance, still he underestimates you. That blind spot is what will allow us to take Beta and Gaia right out from under him.
While hundreds of Tanakh are cut down outside. So you knew Elizabeth. What was she like?
Liz was everything she was. I see in you. And more. Your ingenuity, your determination, your moral compass. You've managed to distill her greatest qualities and make them your own.
I'm not asking about me. Tell me about Elizabeth. What was she really like?
The honest answer is that I don't actually know. For all the time that I spent with her, she always kept a part of herself locked away. It was like that from the moment we met.
So when you met Elizabeth, she was what? Distant? Aloof?
Not aloof. Not exactly. It was a summit in Paris about machine learning, a touchy subject in those days, because regulatory authorities were just starting to clamp down on AIs. Liz gave the keynote address. She had already achieved great renown for her work in automated environmental reclamation. But in her address, she was just starting to imagine the next step, an AI-driven system that wouldn't just act on its programming, but actually take responsibility for its sphere of influence.
To care about life, not just follow orders.
Revolutionary stuff. I was fascinated. And I wanted to meet her for a long time. I watched her after her talk. She had spoken with such moral authority, such empathy. But after that, she retreated. I could tell she felt uncomfortable with all of her admirers. It was as if giving the talk had cost her something. I didn't want to be a pest, so I planned my approach carefully.
So how did you finally approach Elizabeth after her talk?
I picked the right moment. The morning of the next day, right as she came back to the conference, she had just had her coffee. She was fresh, rested. It was like she had braced herself for the onslaught of colleagues. I asked if I could walk with her, then put forth a question about her talk that I thought was intelligent. Her answer made me realize it wasn't, but she was very welcoming. Almost as if we were previously acquainted. It was only halfway through the conversation that I realized she knew exactly who I was. It was quite a shock to me. My business was trafficking in secrets, and I took great pains to protect my anonymity. So that was Liz, perpetually one step ahead. I came to view our meeting as a metaphor for our friendship. She always seemed to know me far better than I knew her.
I guess I know the feeling. First Varl, now Hikaru and the Tenakth. Your plan would wipe out an entire tribe. There has to be another way.
We are in an admittedly desperate situation, but I assure you there isn't. Remember Zero Dawn. Elizabeth's sacrifice. Sometimes many have to die for a new world to grow.
If it looks impossible, look deeper. Wait. The data channel. It still exists, doesn't it? I need you to open it. Let me talk to Beta.
Impossible. We might be detected.
It's worth the risk. There is another way, one where the Tenakth survive.
But we won't. If the others...
If you want to help, open it. What are they doing to her?
Virtual reality dissociation. The manual merge of Hephaestus will take hours upon hours of tedious micromanagement. If she resists the work, they run simulations to induce feelings of isolation and despair.
Beta, can you hear me?
You're alive. They're watching me. I can't hold up this extra projection for long. You should have killed me.
No. No, look at me. I'm coming for you. I promise. Okay? I just need you to hold out a little while longer and work on the merge.
Then I think it can be done.
I'll contact again when it's time. Can you hold on?
As long as I know you're coming for me, I can endure anything.
All right. I did as you asked. Now I think you need to tell me what you're planning.
I'm going to take Silent's army away. I don't need it. Only the weapon he made to penetrate your shields.
And how do you propose to get it? Ask him nicely?
Without Regala and her rebels, he won't have a choice. We'll be his only option.
Only option for what? What did you tell her?
That is between me and my sister. Will be Silent's only option for crashing that base. I'll tell you the rest later. But first, there are a couple of things I have to do.
Oh. And what are those?
Lay my friend to rest. And then I'm going to use the override that Beta gave me at Gemini to put an end to Regala's rebellion. From the air.
Wait. Since you insist on doing things your way, I know of something that will truly help you make a grand entrance with the Tenat. The ancient Horus Titans still possess electromagnetic energy cells as part of their arsenal. Drop one of those on Regala's army and they'll receive quite a surprise. So go, do what you must. I'll come to your base if you manage to bring silence to the table.
Not if. When. Erend, are you there?
Aloy! Aloy, is that really you?
Yeah, it's me. Where's everyone else?
We're all... we're back at base. What happened?
It might be easier to explain in person. I'll try to join you there when I can.
Okay. We'll wait here for you. It's good to hear your voice, Aloy.
Just to let you know, I'm now patched into your focus network.
Great. I take it the other Zeniths can't hear us?
Of course not. And they don't know about your base either, in case you were wondering. I've sent you data on the Horus energy cells you can use against Regala's forces. Reach out to me when you're ready to acquire one.
Understood.
It's gonna leave a mark. Pack's full, but my stash has room.